Hey, welcome back out to the shop today. Have a couple new prints that are slightly bigger than the old ones. We'll see how they turn out. And I thought I'd have a Littlefoot had talked about needing to send me more silver, but what I wanted to kind of chat about today was the sprue. The sprue, I will clean up and basically get any sand that's on it off. So they're reusable. So he sent me some silver, but let's take a look at actually how much silver it takes in the crucible to pour. So we saw that those two yesterday were just under an ounce each. So we're at 1.93 with this sprue. Now this sprue is probably a bit bigger than what I normally pour. I just went ahead and poured what was left in the crucible in there. Usually my sprues are about like this, and that's what I cut off the bar. But in this case with the dice, I have extra up material that I cut the dice off of. But let's see. In order to pour those, I actually poured somewhere over this because I will have lost just a little bit when I cut those off. So almost 7.5 ounces in order to pour 2 ounces. Anyways, a normal sprue on a bar, so like Jeff's Electra was just over 2 ounces for the bar. Oh, zero that out. And the sprue is 1.32. So we were close to 3.5 ounces. So that's why I was trying to tell Littlefoot is that even when I'm trading silver, the silver I get in, I end up adding some of my silver to it in order to account for the extra silver it takes to pour. And then once I've cut it off and I have the sprue back, those can go into another melt, another pour. So I don't actually lose the silver. It just gets reused again. All right, well, I am going to try and re-pour the dice today. And I had a couple requests. Let's see. One of which, Phoenix Coins has been waiting. So I'm going to try and re-pour the Phoenix today for his Phoenix Coins. And we'll see how that turns out. I'm feeling the 4 hours of deck tear out this morning, so I'm probably going to limit it to just the 2 pours today. So we'll see how those go. I'll get my molds ready, and we'll be back in a bit. About ready. Grab the crucible here, we'll give it a pour. be a remelt. Very odd shaped one. All right, let's break these out. All right, dice first. Looks like they have poured pretty good. I see some feet on there. Yeah, I have to poke that sand out. And let's check the Phoenix round. Yeah, it looks like that poured really well. Yep. All right. Now I will get those cleaned up and get my sand cleaned up, and we'll be back. All right, so let's take a look at raw pour weights. So that last little bit that I did, 1/4 ounce. So here's each of those kind of buttons, just under half, just under half, just over half, but it has this funny little handle on it. So they're under half. I'll probably throw those back. And this one I'm not going to worry about. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just nip this off. And we'll see how much it is without the little handle. Still just over half, so I might finish this one. I can do just a light grind on that spot there, and then this would be just over half, and I'll press it into one of my channel rounds, channel buttons. These will go back in the melt. And let's see, the Phoenix as poured 3.78. So we'll see what we end up. So each of these end up being about a gram actually. So we'll cut those off, we'll cut the sprue off, and then we'll check what it weighs. The dice as poured 6.1, just over 6.1 for 2 ounces. All right, we'll get these cut and cleaned up, and I'll be back. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and press this. Now for the crucial part, I'm going to make sure that our die is tight in there, so straight up and down. We've got a piece of steel that I've polished. We're going to try and center that on the die. There's probably a better way to do this. I just haven't figured it out yet. And it looks like it's centered. Okay, So there we have contact. I do 7 pumps. And we'll release it. And there we go. So this one, I think I may end up, because I have that one spot on the edge, I may do this one as a hammered edge, I think. So there we go. I'll put the hammered edge on it, and we'll be back. All right, so we finished up the button with the hammered edges. And we'll get it weighed here to check how many grams it is. So we're at 16.28 grams. So I think that will be 0.523. So we didn't lose too much processing it. So just over half an ounce. And then we finished up the Phoenix. So have the edge done on it. Have it burnished on the back. I left the front shiny. So you can see it's really a lot shinier than the burnished look on the back. So Phoenix, I need to know from you what you'd like me to do with your round. If you like the shiny, if you want me to burnish it, or if you want me to tone it. And if you want me to tone it, do you want me to try for colors, or do you want it similar to the previous one where it's really like a dark background with just the Phoenix and flames in silver? So let me know. Final weight on it. Oh, almost hit exactly 3. 2.987. So just a fraction under 3 ounces. And then the dice, I think, for the most part, turned out okay. There's a little bit of pitting. I'm not going to be able to help that. I think the feet turned out pretty good, except for there's pitting where the toes would be here on this one. But I'm going to take my time on finishing these. But let's check the weight on them. So 1.06 and 1.08 before taking off this extra material. You can see there's some extra material here that's going to have to come off. So I may end up still under. You know, I'm not going to use my regular sander on these. I'm going to do this very carefully and methodically with the Dremel to try and clean these up. And rather than using the drill to put the pips in like I thought I might do, what I may do is just use a hole punch or metal punch and try and put the pips in with the metal punch, because I don't think I can lose a bunch of material to pips. I'd have to pour it bigger. So we'll see how that turns out. But those won't be done right away. I'm going to take my time finishing those to try and get them as good as I can. So that is it for today. No no wrap up in the studio. I just will edit this a little bit later, and I'll be waiting for feedback from James on how he'd like his Phoenix round finished. But there we go. There's today's pour, and I'd say a semi-successful on the dice, pending how they come out. So we'll check back on those later. And then a successful channel button, so just over half an ounce. We'll call it basically a half an ounce. So there we go. That's today's, and that's it. Thanks for joining me, and I'll post this up this evening, and then we'll be back tomorrow morning with another one of those WorldCoin bullion rounds from the Bold box. So I will catch you in the next one.